What if the reason you can read this sentence is because of an ancient god? In the pantheon of ancient Egypt, one figure appears at the crossroads of knowledge, science, and cosmic balance: Thoth. Far from being a minor mythological character, Thoth emerges as the patron of writing, keeper of cosmic order, and even the deity who tampered with the calendar itself. Our journey begins with the ibis-headed god who was said to have self-created at the dawn of the cosmos, or to have sprung from a cosmic egg, and whose very existence poses a challenging question. Did a god gift humanity the tools to understand and measure the world? Thoth's Egyptian name, Djehuty, literally means "he who is like the ibis," reflecting his most common depiction as a man with the head of an ibis, or at times, as a baboon. Worship of Thoth can be traced back to pre-dynastic times and continued for millennia. In origin stories, he is variously described as self-created, born from the lips of Ra, or emerging from the seat of Horus and the forehead of Set. As the son of deities representing order and chaos, Thoth naturally became associated with equilibrium and divine balance. The Greeks later identified him with Hermes. This fusion produced Hermes Trismegistus, the thrice great figure of Hermetic philosophy. Throughout these myths runs a common thread. Thoth embodies the harmony between opposing forces and serves as a divine mediator. The Egyptians regarded Thoth as the inventor of language and hieroglyphs, crediting him with writing, magic, wisdom, and the moon. In some tales, he created the written word and gave it to humanity, while in others, he created it and his consort Seshat distributed it. Thoth's responsibilities included recording the deeds of both gods and humans. Scribes honored him by pouring out a drop of ink before beginning their work. He maintained the divine library with Seshat and bore titles such as Lord of Divine Words, Scribe of Ma'at, and Master of the Balance. The god was said to inscribe each person's fate at birth and to record the length of a king's reign on leaves of the mythical Ishid tree. Among his literary accomplishments were the spells of the Book of the Dead and the Book of Breathings, as well as the legendary Book of Thoth that supposedly contained every secret of the universe. The power associated with Thoth's writings underscores why the Egyptians viewed knowledge itself as sacred and potentially dangerous. Beyond the written word, Thoth was revered as the reckoner of time and seasons. Ancient Egyptians originally followed a 360-day calendar, but a myth explains how Thoth expanded it to the 365-day year we recognize today. The sky goddess Nut was cursed by Ra, forbidden to give birth on any day of the year. Thoth challenged the moon god Khonsu to a game of dice and won 1/72nd of the moon's light, which he divided into 5 additional days. Because these days were not part of the original calendar, Nut was able to deliver her children, Osiris, Isis, Set, Nephthys, and Horus, without violating the curse. Through this clever feat, Thoth not only altered the Egyptian calendar, but also forged a connection between lunar cycles, birth, and the structure of time itself. His role as the one who made calculations concerning the heavens, the stars, and the earth highlights a deity intimately engaged with astronomy and cosmic order. Thoth's domain extended across the sciences. He was credited as the creator of arithmetic, geometry, astronomy, and medicine. As the god of the sciences, he personified the rational arts that allowed Egyptians to survey land, calculate taxes, and build monumental structures. Yet Thoth was also revered for his mastery of magic. Heka. Magic permeated daily life in ancient Egypt. Spells protected newborns, aided the sick, and warded off dangers. Thoth was thought to contain the highest amount of Heka and to wield it responsibly. His knowledge was said to bestow upon readers of the Book of Thoth the ability to understand animal speech and perceive the gods. Even his mathematical prowess was seen through a magical lens. By calculating celestial movements and lunar phases, he could manipulate time, break Ra's curse on Nut, and engineer the 5-day intercalary period. In essence, Thoth represents the inseparability of logic and enchantment in ancient Egyptian thought. Thoth's balanced nature made him an essential mediator in mythological disputes. During the famous conflict between Horus and Set for the throne of Egypt, Thoth healed both combatants so that neither gained an unfair advantage. He retrieved the Eye of Ra when goddesses such as Tefnut fled into distant lands, persuading them back through humility and cunning. The god's judicial role extended into the afterlife. In the Hall of Truth, he stood beside Osiris and Anubis to record the weighing of the heart against the feather of Mayat. This position made Thoth synonymous with truth and integrity. Egyptians would describe a righteous person as straight and true like Thoth. His mansion of Thoth in the underworld offered souls a safe haven to rest and learn protective spells. Thus, the ibis-headed god was not only the archivist of fates, but also the impartial judge who ensured cosmic justice. If you're fascinated by ancient gods and hidden history, consider liking and subscribing. There's much more to uncover. Egyptians celebrated Thoth's festivals widely. His cult center at Hermopolis housed temples, and pilgrims left mummified ibises and baboons as votive offerings. The god's presence permeated names. Pharaohs like Thutmose literally meant born of Thoth, and scribes wore amulets bearing his image. Over time, Greeks equated Thoth with Hermes, and through Hermes Trismegistus, his teachings influenced Hermeticism and later alchemical and esoteric traditions. Early Christian writers even claimed he authored 42 sacred books, a lore that inspired centuries of seekers to hunt for hidden knowledge. Today, Thoth appears in novels, video games, and modern pagan practices as a symbol of knowledge and magic. The University of Cairo proudly features him on its logo, attesting to his enduring cultural significance. By embodying both scientific inquiry and mystical wisdom, Thoth bridges ancient myth with modern quests for understanding. From the moment he allegedly self-created through language to his clever manipulation of lunar light that reshaped the calendar, Thoth stands as the archetype of intellectual ingenuity and cosmic balance. His invention of writing gave humanity the ability to preserve memory, law, and literature. His stewardship of science and magic offered a framework for understanding the world. His judgment in the afterlife ensured moral accountability. The stories of Thoth challenge us to consider that knowledge and time are not merely human constructs, but gifts intertwined with the fabric of the cosmos. As you reflect on the God who invented writing, and perhaps time itself, ask yourself, how different would our world be if the measured cadence of our days and the written record of our thoughts had never existed?